I hope you're well. Since the last time we met, I welcome you to this another episode that we are going to hear something very interesting. We are going to listen to a man of God and a counselor, a professional counselor for that case. A man I love to listen to because he's full of wisdom, and anytime I listen to him, there is something I actually gain from him. So I invite you, because what you're about to hear is something that is also going to benefit, I believe, every one of us that is going to watch this video and to listen to this wisdom. And it's something that we really need in our world today, so that we can coexist and socialize well with a lot of understanding and love. And so join me as we go to meet the counselor. Karibu sana, Pastor.
Asante.
To this session.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have already told my viewers that the topic we are going to handle is very interesting to start with, and also very helpful.
Very true.
So I'll give this chance for you to introduce yourself to our viewers so that we get into our topic of the day.
Thank you so much. So thanks, Tina, for having me. I'm Eliud. I serve as a pastor, but also a trained professional counselor. Basically, I'm a psychologist, which means that I can handle the spectrum of, challenges of life and mental disorders. I serve at JC Church in a place called Chuka-Ndangani, and I am married and have 2 kids.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for availing yourself for this session.
Karibu sana.
Without wasting time, let's get to the topic. The 4 temperaments.
Understanding the 4 temperaments.
Understanding the 4 temperaments.
Yes.
So that we get help to understand ourselves and the people we live with, right?
Very true, yeah.
So what are the 4 temperaments?
Basically, this was a discovery by Socrates, and he kind of analyzed personalities through fluids, body fluids, and this temperament theory has picked a lot. A certain man called Tim LaHaye has really done a good job in writing about the 4 temperaments. It is one of the most popular ways to look at personality, because it captures the essence of life in 4 main temperaments. So if I can mention them before we can talk about each one of them, we have the clerics, we have the sanguines, these are on the sociable side, then we have phlegmatics, and then we have the last one, I know you know it, melancholics, the moody ones.
You know those terminologies. I remember one time I told my sister about choleric. Then was connecting it with cholera. So it is good that you can, so that someone does not think when you're told you are choleric, like you're suffering cholera. And
cholera.
You know also melancholic, we used to say in primary school composition. I don't know, I sat in melancholic or melancholy or something. So they think melancholic is someone who is stressed, because that's how we were taught to use the saying in primary school. But I'm glad today we are going to understand that. So maybe we can start with each one at a time and what it entails. Perhaps we start with the sanguine.
Start with the sanguine. The sanguine is the most sociable temperament. It is a temperament that is bright. It is represented by yellowish color. Sanguines are very sociable, outgoing. They are flowery. They are very good in terms of keeping people happy. And the downside of them is that they kind of exaggerate. They talk a lot. To keep the conversation going, they even sometimes create things that are not there. So those are just some of the weaknesses we have with the sanguines.
The person behind the camera is doing like this.
But on the other side, they quickly forgive.
Wow.
They quickly forgive, but they are also impulsive. Impulsive meaning they can make a decision out of nowhere.
Emotional.
Kind of emotional. They are excited. That means they are not able to really plan things in advance. They are more like what is there, and then they get into it. Yeah, that is now the sanguines. So what do they excel in? Drama. They excel in, anywhere where you need sociability. Yeah, they are the people who are in media, performers. Yeah, they are very good at that. But when you give them a job that demands for them to concentrate, then you lose them. Because their concentration span is very low. Yeah, so that is about sanguines. In order to be a good sanguine, you have to...
Sorry to cut you short. Just maybe you can give us, for the sake of this episode, you can just give us an overview of what it entails. Then we book an appointment with also our viewer to know how to build on the strengths and to deal with the weaknesses.
That's okay.
But I'm excited that we easily forgive, we will go to heaven.
Very true.
So as sanguines, we are going to heaven.
It is well. Yeah. And they are very important in the society. Yeah, they can be great. When we think about the other that is close, there is phlegmatic. Phlegmatic, the difference with the sanguines is that they are more easygoing. They are more calmer. They have not much initiative. A sanguine is restless from one activity to another. Phlegmatics kind of are passive. They may even seem dormant. Phlegmatics also, they take things slow. Basically, you even find that they may be described as not aggressive. Yeah, that is now phlegmatic. Phlegmatics. Yeah, we say feel the phlegmatic, just easygoing. Their strength is that they are very, they are peace lovers. They are easy to live with. They don't take offenses easily. They kind of carry the blame for other people's mistakes. Yeah, but now that creates another problem because the fact that they don't easily want to hurt others may hurt them in the process. Yeah, so they kind of are absorbers. They are absorbers. We also say they don't easily speak their minds, so they are not assertive. So a phlegmatic will not easily speak their minds. So they'd rather take a lower position rather than struggle for something.
Wow, I think I know one phlegmatic.
Yes.
My friend, if you're watching, you need to look for the counselor or watch the next video so that you get help. Really, it is not, I think it puts them at a risk. You carry the blame of other people.
Yes.
You're not so outspoken to express yourself.
Yes.
They can so be under pressure, right?
Yeah, and they don't want to hurt. That alone puts them in a place of risk because in life, Tina, we have to hurt each other in order to grow. But now you see they don't want to hurt. Yeah, they absorb us. Yeah, but they thrive in habitual tasks.
Habitual tasks?
A task that involves monotony. Yeah. So they can be very good bartenders or waiters. They can be very good front office people because they have the patience. They are not like, they want to move up and down. Routine, very true. Yes.
Which is not good for a sanguine.
A sanguine will never thrive in a routine.
Yeah, because I personally know if I stay in one thing for a long time, I really get bored. I even feel sick
very
about it.
Now, because you mentioned the sanguine comparative to the phlegmatic, sanguines now tend to start many things, but the danger is that they may not succeed.
Or complete any of them.
So they may have many projects, but the sustainability of following up may not be there. But now phlegmatic has that capacity to carry out something to
Yeah.
completion.
They pursue.
They
know
pursue.
to pursue.
Even if it's one thing,
Mm.
they may be able to pursue to the end.
So you hear that? Phlegmatics pursue.
Yeah.
Sanguines, we bite more than we can chew.
Yes.
That is something we need to work on.
Yeah.
Let's say about the melancholic.
Now the melancholic is the moody one
Okay.
of the four. They are self-absorbed. The melancholic is represented by the color blue, meaning they are the intuitive people, meaning they really think, they reflect deeply. They are the thinkers, the melancholics.
Sorry, you said sanguine is yellow. Flag, you didn't tell us the color?
Oh, flag is represented by white.
White. Then the melancholic is blue. And these are the
Cleric, before we
thinkers.
forget, is red.
Okay.
That's the far end of the temperaments.
Okay.
So when you think about melancholic, think about creativity, think about perfectionism, think about very good planners, think about organization, think about that. But on the flip side, they are the hardest to live with. Not really, cholerics are the hardest, but followed by melancholics.
Yeah.
Because melancholics, they are so moody. They can shift moods from nowhere. They were smiling, they just frown.
Yeah.
They are discontented. They are too demanding. They are pessimistic. You see? They are negative. They also kind of speak words that can be demeaning.
But they are
look-
very honest.
They are honest, but the way they put it can be off-putting.
They don't
Yeah.
know how to sugarcoat. They have nothing for PR.
They are better than cholerics, because you're coming to cholerics.
Okay.
But still, they have that problem. Yeah, but obviously the worst is cholerics. As we're going to see, they don't have that capacity to think about the other person. Yeah, so they just talk and they think they have done it and it's okay.
So are the melancholics the perfectionists?
Yes,
They are
they're the
these people we call
perfectionists.
perfectionists.
Yeah.
Because later on you'll be talking about the temperaments in a marriage setup. And I remember I listened to a couple that was one of the parties is a melancholic.
Yes.
Apparently it is the wife. So they would say if it's blue shirts, they arrange blue shirts, yellow shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. And then if you interfere with that, it becomes an issue. I think that is perfectionism.
Yeah, and I am a melancholic, so I can relate with this at a personal level.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you find that, okay, with the time you can outgrow it, but it's a big issue. For example, if you take just an example of how you put something on the table, there is a way for me, I want it in a specific way. If I'm arranging a book and then I find it removed how I put it, that offends me.
Okay.
Because now that is melancholy. They thrive in sciences and arts because they have very high creativity levels. So they are the people who become architects, the people who become doctors, the people who become psychologists, because also they have the ability to really be considerate.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they have that capacity.
So they empathize also?
A lot. They empathize. Now the flip side is this, they forget themselves in the process.
Okay.
So as we come to talk about marriage to a melancholic, then the other party has to always come in and pull out what is in them, because probably they may not be able to bring it out. Yeah, that idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the last one,
The fourth one now.
Yes, cholerics. Cholerics are the leaders, the military guys, the political leaders.
Yeah.
They are efficient, they are focused. You can't separate a choleric from their ambition. they are very ambitious.
Yeah.
They focus more on the task rather than the task person. So if a boss is choleric, they don't care about you going to achieve something. They want it done.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have no empathy or very little empathy.
Okay.
Yeah, that is now the choleric.
And they're also strong-willed.
Very strong.
Because now if they focus and you cannot move them from their focus, that's strong-willed.
Yeah, yeah. And now on the flip side, we can say they are pushy. They are non-considerate. They are, we could say this, they are so aggressive that they have no feelings for other people's welfare. Yes.
They can be selfish.
They can be a bit selfish. Yes. Now, they thrive well in leadership positions that demand a lot of strength. Like now in the military, cholerics thrive. Because in the military, you achieve this or you don't.
Yeah.
There is no, you achieve or you achieve. There is no two way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also very good when it comes to foremen. You know, like in a site, things need to be done, and for a certain goal to be achieved, because you're considering finances versus resources and the timelines. Then they can be very good.
Wow.
Yes.
So primarily, we can say that each temperament has its own strengths and weaknesses, and no one should look down on themselves because perhaps they are one temperament and not the other.
Very true.
But before we wind up, because we are about to wind up, can someone have more than one temperament?
Yes, that's a very good question, because nobody can have one as the primary temperament. We always have to.
At least two?
Everyone has at least two.
Okay.
So what we have is one primary and the secondary.
Yeah.
In very rare cases, we find where people have a tertiary. So you have to understand which is the stronger one for you and which is the weaker one. But they have to be at least two. And even the writers and the psychologists have been able to create short forms for the combinations.
Okay.
Like for me, I am a male male call, meaning I'm a melancholic, but with a tinge of choleric.
No, choleric, whenever we mention choleric, I think personally, perhaps some of our viewers might be like me. We think choleric is quarreling. We quarrel. Like if you are choleric, you quarrel. You speak like you're quarreling, is it?
Basically, it may sound like that because their views are very strong. Putting them from where they are to another place is very hard. So we can say they are a bit more dogmatic, or they hold on to their views without being swayed. So if they decide this is the right way, then that's what they do. Yeah, it may sound like that.
Wow.
So combination, another one, male son, talk about call son. Each one must have a mate. You know, so in total, how many do we get out of the 4?
Well, okay.
We can get 8.
Okay.
We can get 8. Yeah, the combinations, because each goes with the other, each goes with the other, and so they are able now to get the combinations.
Okay.
So one has to measure themselves and test themselves to understand which is the major and which is the minor.
Okay.
Yes.
We also had a discussion, someone we were saying perhaps the worst combination, I don't know as a psychologist whether you agree, the worst combination is choleric sanguine or sun choleric. Is it true?
Why they say that?
Not the worst, really, let's say the most complicated.
I think, yeah, I would agree with that, because now you're taking this sociability and then also you are becoming pushy. Yeah, so that may be, and then you become unpredictable, because now people wonder, where are you? You know, because you're very sociable, but then you also push your agenda. You are inflexible, you are arrogant, you are aggressive, so that now makes it complicated.
Wow.
But we cannot say and I think this is important to say, that there is a worst personality combination. What we can say is the difficulty level of living with that person.
Yeah.
But still it depends on who is living with who.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we should pause there.
Yeah.
And perhaps in the subsequent talk, you will help us understand how to live with such person, or a particular temperament in a particular social setup. And one of them that we really love to look at is in a marriage setup, in a workplace setup, and in a church.
And in the church, yes.
So if you're there and you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, so that as we listen to our counselor, our psychologist, as he takes us through these temperaments, we're able to understand ourselves and to know how to deal with other people, and how even to deal with ourselves, so that as you've heard their strengths and weaknesses, we're able to build on each one of them and come out a holistic person and a healthy person to be living even with the other people. I hope you've been able to know where you lie, which is your personality, which is your secondary temperament, which is your primary temperament, and then now we'll be taken through how to live with those temperaments in a healthy way. Subscribe. God bless you so much for watching. Bye.